Diddly diddly, diddly diddly, diddly do, 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 diddly do. Okay, how's everybody doing? How's everybody doing? That's a lot of windows. That's a lot of windows. It's a lot of windows, Chris. Chris says that's a lot of windows. What are you gonna do with all those windows? Hi, Chris. Looks like it's just you and me. Let's fucking party. Okay, guys. Dude, Chris, that's fucking sick. Chris is half naked. You know, I could not be wearing pants right now. You know, I could just do my whole job never wearing pants. That's the beauty of the internet. Don't know who's wearing pants or not because everything's just from the torso up. You know, to be honest, I don't even need legs for this. Welcome to the 21st century. Alright, would somebody please give me a minor scale for us to write in? Yeah, check out this shirt. This is a fucking dope shirt. It's got a lot of dots on it. This is by Uniqlo. Great brand. Very cheap. G minor. Okay, let's do G minor. Okay, I got a lot of different keys. G minor was the first one. So let's do it in G minor. Okay. Now the question is, how do we even get G minor? Well, okay, there was a G major, but once again, as we learned from the video, the formula for converting a major into a minor is very simple. All we have to do is play the scale and go 1, 2, flatten the 3, flatten the 6, flatten the 7, back to 1. Okay, wowzers, there it is. All right. Now let's go ahead and build the chords off of G minor. So first chord, regular old G minor. Second chord, A diminished. Okay. Third chord, B flat major. Fourth chord, C minor. Fifth chord, D minor. Sixth chord, E flat major. Seventh chord, F major, back to G minor. Okay, wowzers. Now remember, the pattern here is always going to be the same for whatever minor scale we're in. So it's always going to be minor, diminished, major, minor, minor, major, major. Okay? So always remember that. It's always going to be the exact same thing for, you know, whatever minor scale, whatever Aeolian scale we're writing in. By the way, where we got the name. Back in the day, the Greeks really liked garlic aioli. However, it always caused digestive problems, so it made everyone sad. That's where we got the name Aeolian. This is the scale that you have to listen to while you're eating garlic aioli because it's not that good for you, turns out. Turns out it's mostly mayonnaise. Okay? Alright, I'm Greek and I don't like it. That's, you know, that's what I'm saying. It's very controversial. Okay, now let's go ahead and start writing a chord progression together. So, given the fact that we are in the key of G minor, probably best for us to start with G minor. Now, chord progressions don't necessarily always need to start with the root note of whatever scale you're in. You could technically start a chord progression off on any other chord. But the thing is, as soon as you start off on a different chord other than the root, you increase the likelihood of people thinking that you're in the key of B flat major, for example, rather than what we want them to think. We want them to really feel as if they've eaten that garlic aioli and that we're in the key of G Aeolian. So probably best for now to start the chord progression off on G Aeolian. Okay, so this is our first chord. Now, where do we want to go? Do we want to go up from this chord or down? Up or down, people? Where are we going? Alright, I'm just going to stay here. Stay here for the rest of the live stream. Just play. Okay, up. Alright, we're going up. Now, how far up? Are we going up to... Ooh, the next chord, which is diminished? That doesn't sound so great. Okay, I don't know. Let's go up to, let's go up to where? Where do we go up to? I mean, can't go to the diminished chord. That sounds real ugly. Maybe, say, B flat major? Or is that too close? What do you guys think? Go up to the third. We can go up to the fourth. Okay, to the relative major. Well, the relative major is going to be what, guys? How do we find the relative major from the minor? Somebody tell me, how do we find the relative major from the minor? Real simple, guys, come on. Somebody hasn't had their garlic aioli. Okay, so actually, so check this out. Somebody said A sharp. It's actually not A sharp. A sharp is the same note, but you're not naming it correctly. There's actually no A sharp in G minor. This note is not A sharp because A is already taken. We already have G, A. This next note, it has to be B flat, which, you know, is enharmonic to A sharp. They're basically meaning the same thing. This note is technically E flat. Sorry, B flat. But yes, the formula is very simple. You just go up 3 semitones. 1, 2, 3. So, if you recall, when in the video I was talking about, okay, how do we, you know, how do we go from a major scale, an Ionian scale, and find the relative minor? Well, it was very simple. All we had to do was play that same scale off of the 6th scale degree. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay? So in this case, we're in the key of B flat Ionian. We're starting off on the 6th, okay, and that's our relative minor. So the formula when we're going from major to minor is starting off on the 6th. When we want to go from minor to major, we want to start off on the 3. Okay, so third note of the scale, that's how we go back from Aeolian to Ionian. So in this case, it's actually going back to B flat Ionian. Wowzers, that was a great theory explanation. Who got me there? Did anybody miss out on that? Anybody not clear? Should we move on? Okay, I'm gonna move on. So let's go to let's go back to the scale that we were writing in, which is G Aeolian. Okay, so we're going back there, G Aeolian. Now we wanted to go up to clear as a Scientologist at OT3. What is that? Is that like OTT? Oh. Is OTT made by the Church of Scientology? Conspiracy theory, anyone? Why not? Whatever gets us clicks. You know, one thing I was considering was I'm starting to run out of ideas for You Suck at Producing videos. Maybe I could just turn the channel into a conspiracy theory channel. What do you guys think about that? Probably great for clicks. Okay, anyways. So we're going from 1 to the major 3. Where does this want to go? Does this want to go up or down from this chord? Somebody tell me. Yeah, you suck at conspiracy theories. That's exactly what I'm going to do with the rest of my life. Sounds real fulfilling. Music-related conspiracy theories. You know, it's not actually 440 hertz. It's 432. Let's go up again, okay? So, where do we want to go? Oh, we're doing the fucking Get Lucky theme? Well, fuck that. Hi, I'm Alex Jones, and you suck at producing. Oh my god, Alex Jones probably sucks at producing. Okay. So we want to go. Where do we want to go from B flat major? What's the next chord? Microtonal. I have not tried microtonal. That sounds really hard and complicated. I'm fine with the 12 tones that we have here at our disposal. So first chord, G minor. Second chord, B flat major. What's going to be the third chord, guys? We're going to go up. We're going to go up where? We're going to C minor? Or is that too high? Okay. Maybe... Ooh, okay, we could go up to the E flat major. Who liked the sound of that? So, G minor, B flat major, E flat major. So we're going 1, 3, 6. Okay. Alright, do some videos about live performance. Well, here's the thing. I played a show last weekend in Santa Cruz, and my live performance consisted of just pressing play and dancing. And in fact, I really didn't actually press play all that much. Sometimes I just let people in the audience press play for me on my controller. It's actually quite fun. So my live performance is not as good. Okay, C minor is good. Maybe what we could do, 1, 3, E flat major. Okay, here we go. Alright, so there's our 4-chord progression. 1. Jesus. So we're going 1, 3, 6, 4. Okay, that's not bad. Let's go ahead and do something with that. What's my speaker setup? I use Yamaha HS8s. Cool. Alright, so let's go ahead and record that. I'm going to go ahead and put in the count in. Alright. It's going to be real boring. Wow, that was so boring, but here's the thing. We got all our chords in order, and let me just go ahead and hit the legato button here, and that makes each chord as long as possible. Let's put this down an octave. Okay. Wow, no, that's just some Diplo shit right there. Now here's the thing. We could actually make this chord progression a little bit more interesting by seeing what notes we have in common, say, from the first chord to the next, and see if we can make it a little bit more jazzy, more interesting, see what we can do. So let me go ahead and pull up my keyboard again. Okay, let me just go ahead and lower the octave here. So let me just see what I can do here. Let's fucking do some shit right there. That was kind of cool, I guess. So, I'm making these chords a little bit jazzier. And the way I'm doing that is I'm adding notes that aren't supposed to be there. So, for example, this is just, all the notes that are supposed to be there. The G, B flat, and D. And you notice that I'm actually doubling a lot of these notes. So, in the left hand, I'm doubling the root at the very bottom, and the fifth, root, third, fifth, root. that's just an easy way of making a chord sound bigger than they actually are, because we're also used to that. This is just one way of making it feel more expansive, larger, um, you know, just fatten that chord up. Fatten that chord up with some milkshakes. Okay? Now here, on this next chord, all these chords, so I'm playing a B flat major chord, and very simple, the 3 notes here that are supposed to be here are B flat, D, and F, and once again, I'm just doubling the root and the 5th in my left hand. And what we want is we want to make this chord a little bit more interesting. So I'm going to go ahead and add the 2, or the 9th. It just sounds so much jazzier. And of course we could put this C, take it up an octave. But what I like to do is I like to put these notes right next to one another, kind of in the middle of the chord, so that we have a little bit of dissonance right in there. You know, like the Real World, how they put, you know, a bunch of, you know, terribly unadjusted people together in a small room and watch what happens. It's exactly what we're doing. We're taking all these notes that aren't supposed to work with one another, we're putting them together in that small room, and it's real interesting to listen to, just the arguments that they get in there. Okay? Okay, let's keep going. And then here, I'm adding the 7th up on top. Once again, not necessarily supposed to be in the chord, but adding these notes just makes things more fun and interesting. We could try a semitone away. Ooh, okay, now that sounds fucking dark. I like that. That's cool. I like that chord. So I'm playing. I'm just doing this with the first G minor chord. But check this out. And this, I'm actually not playing the 3rd at all. I'm just going straight to the 4th. Hey, thank you so much, Om Nom and Splat. Means a lot. I like that. Let's fuck with that. That's some lo-fi chill hop shit to study too. Well, let's see what we can do there. Oh, Kooftown, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Okay. So now we have this, which sounds a lot better than, you know, just going regular. Actually, did I play this right? Whatever. So what I want is I want a new chord at the end there. I just want to switch things up. I don't want to keep repeating. Just keep repeating. Fuck, where'd GarageBand go? Guys, notice that I'm using GarageBand just for this on-screen keyboard function. I'm not using it for anything else. Just Ableton doesn't have an on-screen keyboard, so You know, if anybody here works at Ableton, maybe consider adding that. That would be nice, so I don't have to use GarageBand. Anyways, all right, 1, 3, 6, 4. Maybe let's do 1, 3, and then 6. What could be the last chord there that's different? I don't want to go back to the 4. What are we feeling, guys? Maybe 7? A sharp major last chord. Well, we already have the thing is there is no A sharp major in G Aeolian. There's only B flat major. This is B flat major because once again the A is already taken here, A natural. So this has to be B flat here. That's how we're building that last chord. Play the 7th. What about the 5th? Let's try the 5th. The 7 could work. So we could do just F major there. Okay. Tritone sub the dominant. We're not quite there yet. How to make Skrillex swap, man. Sure. You know, honestly, I haven't been doing this at all. I've just been making webs on my own. But the thing is, I'm not good enough to do videos on webs yet. Gotta get better first. In the meantime, I'm just gonna have to stick with this pussy ass real music. That's not bad. Okay. Which chord is good for acid? That's actually a great question. I like this chord. It's so jazzy. Actually, I don't know if that's acidy enough. I want something more psychedelic. No. Ooh, that's kind of a good acidy chord. Well, anyways, let's go back to our progression here. Let's make some real chill hop shit. Yeah, that's that shit. Oh. Oh, we don't need the OTT there. Oh my god. These aren't Skrillex webs we're making. We don't need OTT. I do know the dopest Gringo live. Shout out Ross. Now let's go ahead and just freeze this. And what I want to do is I want you guys' help with the melody here. Let's go ahead and write the melody before we add the drums. So once again, what we're doing here is just go again and unfreeze this here. What we're doing here, whoa, what the fuck? Go ahead and take the noise off here. What we're doing here is just go ahead and flatten it. A 1, so let me just write the chord progression right here. A 1, so minor 1, major 3, what was it? Major 6, 4, and then again 1, 3, 6, and then 7. Okay, awesome. Let's go ahead and make this bigger for you guys. Look, feel. There we go. All right. Okay, let's go ahead. I need you guys' help. Okay. Whoa, it's too big for me. I'm sorry. Make it a little bit bigger. Oh, better. Okay, let's go ahead and take the LFO off here. Alright, so so wobbly. Now, someone please write the lyrics for this. I can't write lyrics for shit. What? Yeah. Ugh. So check this out. I'm actually structuring this melody very deliberately. Here's the thing about melodies. Good melodies are supposed to be catchy, right? They're supposed to stick in people's minds. Let me just go ahead and hide keyboard, show keyboard, just so it resets. Right, so melodies, successful melodies are supposed to stick, and, oh yeah, this is what I used for the thumbnail anyways. Good melodies are supposed to stick in people's minds, right? They're supposed to be catchy, memorable, etc. And if we're just soloing all over the place, nobody's gonna remember that shit. That's why nobody listens to jazz. So in order for melodies to be sticky, they need a fair amount of repetition in them for them to register in people's tiny little noggins. Now here's the thing. If I'm just repeating the same thing, it's real boring. People are going to tune that out real quick. So melodies can't be so repetitive that people tune out, but they can't also be so all over the place, so, solo-y, that people also tune out. So we're going to have to find a sweet spot between repetition and surprise. The best way to do that is to structure your melodies in a way so that the repetition and the surprise are built in. And the way I like to think about this is a very common pattern that many melodies follow, which is call, response, call, different response. So in this case, my call is this. And my first response is the F. So my call is this. That's my call. And my first response is this. And I ask the same question, or I call again. And then I do a slightly different, maybe a slightly more energetic response. And that's what the F and D there are. So that way, we get the repetition built in, which is that, and then we get the variation in the response. And that's my second response. So here we have that structure of call, response, call, slightly different response. It's a very, very easy way to make your melodies sticky. Whoa. Doesn't need that. A little bit maybe. I can't wait for the drums. No pressure. Kidney. Let's do that one. Where's my real jack U snare? There we go. I've made the same beat so many times. Like, sometimes you're just going to make womps. But, you know, this is nice too, I guess. Let's see if we can make that hi-hat a little bit more interesting. I'm going to use something different there. I don't know if you guys have played with this, but all my Live 10 homies, you can go ahead and go to your Max for Live tab and click on Max Instrument. Then you have a bunch of these really cool instruments, really cool, basically synths for different kinds of hi-hat sounds. Whoops. Oh, looks like it doesn't register the low velocity. That sucks. Maybe it's like super velocity sensitive or something. Let me fuck with this a little bit. Turn up the low velocity. I'm a little sick, guys. Don't mind me. And then here's what you can do. This is a really fun trick. You can go ahead and map the LFO, another Max for Live thing, to the pitch. You can do the same thing with the the pitch thing is annoying me. I don't really like that. Huh. That's cool. Let's compress that a little bit. Let's see what other percussion shit we have here. That's kind of cool. It's not that great. Maybe I have something in my breaks. Could layer it with something. Fucking crackhead. Who's calling? What? What's wrong with crack? Oh, thank you. filter. And then, yeah, I want a drum break over this. Maybe I could just layer some of these samples over it. That's not a bad idea. Okay, let's try something like this. Yeah, sure. Why not? How are we doing on time? Doing okay. Ah, here we go. Let's try this. Oh, okay, that didn't work. Let's try half speed. Okay. You know, I wish you could just edit audio just from this view here. So weird. A little bit of that. Okay, there we go. Let's just add some bass. try something like that. Alright, cool. We don't need to go further there. You got the idea. To answer some of your questions, yes, those chords that I just played on the guitar were pretty much the same as earlier. Might have voiced them a little bit differently. Um, Drums, pretty okay. I just kind of layered a break over my own drums. Common technique that I do, just to kind of get the best of both worlds. Um, anyways, and then the chords. We just made the chords together. So thank you so much for giving me the ideas for the chord progression. I really appreciate you guys. So next week is my last video of the year, which is pretty crazy because this year I committed to doing a video every single week for the entire year, and I'm almost done. I just need to do one last more video, and it's pretty crazy. Channel's grown a lot, and in this year we've created the Discord together and the subreddit and the Patreon, and got many of you to do private lessons with me, and collab with some of my favorite YouTubers, Imaginary Ambition. It's been a crazy fucking year. Thank you so much, guys, for supporting me all this way, supporting Uncle Joe's drinking habits. Derek's speech therapist. And I really, really appreciate it. Every single one of you have meant a lot to me, and none of it's possible without you. And just, thank you so much for participating in the live streams and the Discord, showing up. So I'm very excited for the future. Anyways, I have more lessons pretty soon, so I'm going to take off. But thank you so much for all your continued support. It means the world to me. And I just hope that, you've learned something, that these videos and live streams have helped you on your musical journeys, and it means a lot to me. All right. As far as continuing to release weekly, next year I'm probably going to take a break from that. I'm probably going to do live streams weekly, but as far as video content, kind of want to take a step back a bit and see what I can do differently. Just because I've just noticed that many weeks, especially recently, I've just kind of had to come up with a video idea last minute. And, if I'd been given more time to myself, then I could probably do a better job for you guys. And maybe there's something different that I can do in the future that could help you more and also reach a wider audience. But happy to talk with you and field any suggestions there. Yeah, thank you so much once again. Really appreciate it. And have a lovely day, guys. Appreciate you. Mwah. Peace out.